Something that I find inspirational about you is when you talk about busking. You mean it literally, where you'll talk about negotiating a record deal or something. They need you, but you don't need them. You can go busk. I look at that as a metaphor. Most of the things I've done have been very DIY and just between me and the people.
Yeah.
And there doesn't have to be a corporation that gives permission for that kind of thing. Your current project strikes me that way also.
With the new albums, I'm just going to give them to people for a bunch of reasons. But yeah, it actually feels more noble too when you're just sort of singing into the air. You know, like when you're busking, and there's no particular person that you're trying to connect with. You're singing. You're just singing to the universe, and people are walking by. That feels more noble than, hey, everybody sit down and watch, give me your attention for a long time. And it also feels like if you start like that and you can do that, and Jerry Jeff said that too, that's a certain way to approach even being professional. So, but it also, you really could do it. I mean, you really could. I could do it. I know I could. And then there's places like Key West where it's not going to be bad. And everybody's got a boat down there. You know, if you don't have one, but you're a busker, that's the other thing about it. Everybody loves them. You know? The first time I was in Austin on 6th Street, that's when I would do it. And I don't think I ever made a shit ton of money because, like, I got asked inside almost immediately. You know, I was playing inside, but.
This is what Woody Guthrie did.
Yeah.
This is what Joe Hill did before Woody.
Yeah.
And people, it's the relationship with the listener that's the important thing.
Yeah.
And there are many times that they will actually support what you're doing because they believe in it, whether it's throwing something in your guitar case or whether that's a metaphor in some other way.
Yeah, yeah. And there was people that did it. I mean, we all are cats we like did that. I didn't know till I met them that it wasn't as on purpose as I thought. Yeah. You know, John was like, I was trying to have hits the whole time. They were breathing down my neck to have hits the whole time.
John Frine?
Yeah, I was like, God damn. Damn.
Yeah. So when you first moved to East Nashville, what brought you there?
I'm married. I went to rehab, met Melita. I had a house out in Fairview by Steve, and we stayed there for a while, and I was always gone, so she wanted to be closer to people. So I was out of town, she found that. I was like, when I got home, she was like, check this house out, I got it. And we moved in there and didn't know at all that there was other musicians or anything. Yeah. I liked the house, and then, I mean, I think I was telling you earlier, I met Skip, I think first, and then he knew everybody. He knew Chuck, and he knew Elizabeth, and he knew everyone. Yeah.
At this time, Chuck Mead, Sergio Webb, Elizabeth Cook, Tim Carroll, Kevin Gordon.
Yeah.
These are some of the...
Yeah.
I'm leaving people out, and I apologize.
Yeah, I'm trying to, Grimes, then...
Mike Grimes, yes.
God, that's the main. I'm trying to think. There must have had to be other women. Gillian and Dave too, but they had right when it started, they did that the bluegrass movie with the handsome guy in it.
Oh, Brother, we're out
there. Yeah, so they had some bread.
With the handsome guy in it?
Yeah. Well, who was it? Like one of them who's a heartthrob in the thing, right? George Clooney.
George Clooney. Why can't we remember George Clooney's name?
Yeah. I don't know actors. I don't go to movies.
But at that time, there were people who came to Nashville not so much for the money, but just for hanging around artistic people and doing their thing. Yeah. And East Nashville seemed to be the affordable place where they would
in my mind it was like that was where, if it used to be like you would come there, if you come to be a songwriter or to try to make it over there, you come here, get your little place, go over there every day and see if you can't work your way over there. And then it became this place that people, I'll stay here. is working.
Yeah.
I like this. I play the Birchmeadow. Fuck y'all.
I've talked about this before, but there's a video on YouTube. I think it's called "Come to East Nashville,"
Yeah.
where you're riding around in a convertible, just kind of being a goofball, and Peter Cooper's in it. It's just when you watch it. I remember I knew who Peter was. We later became good friends with Peter, but I remember watching it and thinking, that's the Ted music writer at the Tennessean, and he's getting drunk with Todd Snider. What the hell kind of neighborhood is this?
That's kind of a
And
thing.
Amy and I were watching this in our house, and we were thinking, man, this looks like a place we'd like to live. And we ended up a few years later making our way there, and a lot of that was born. We knew Chuck and Brenda. We knew some people, but a lot of that was born by watching that video. And I think I've said quite a few times that the video has, I don't know, 2,000 plays.
Yeah.
But it's like that Velvet Underground album that sold 10,000 copies, but every single person who bought it started a band.
Yeah.
I think everyone who saw that video moved to East Nashville.
God, that's funny. You know what? Well, what happened too was so East Nashville came out. So I've been on MCA, then got sent down, I guess. But it wasn't different to me. Oh boy, because it was still just a folk singer. But then after I did those 3 records for Oh Boy, I did MCA wanted me to come back and make another one for them, and I was going to get control of my best of. And Mercer, I didn't earn it. That guy, he was there, and he brother-in-law dealed me, you know. He convinced them that I was, but the record before had done pretty good, and so then I was there, and Mercer loved that neighborhood. In fact, the first time I took him over to Eric's studio, Eric didn't let you bring people, you know. Yeah. And this guy was from MC. He was going to give my publishing back for me, and I was like, he wanted to see the studio, and I was like, Eric, we're here. And he's like, who's this fucking guy? Like, to him, who's this fucking guy? I was like, this guy's Bob Mercer. He's that guy I told you about from Margaritaville. He's MCA. He wants us to do his next record. And Eric was like, you got a driver's license? And he pulls it out. Mercer looked at me, and I was like, oh, Eric. And he looked at it, and I was like, all right. And then Bob came in, and that's the kind of shit he liked, you know. And so at that time, there's all of a sudden there's some bunch of people I don't know that want me to do this movie. Like, we need you to make a video about your neighborhood, because they loved that record. And they were going to get me to do The Devil You Know. And I'm glad they did. And then so here was the thing, though, that was very East Nashville of us. Stacy had just moved to town, but I'd known her, you know, since we were children.
Stacy Huckabee.
Stacy, there was a band in Memphis called the Son of Slam, and she was in their entourage, and I dabbled in their. I loved them. You know, they'd go on at 2 a.m, so I'd go to their shows after mine, and they were mean, like the crowd was mean, and so. But Stacy was in there. They'd let me hang with their. I was clearly folk, you know, and everybody else was clearly hard rock. Yeah.
She was hanging out with the Pantera guys in Dallas before that, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Just to give you an
She
idea.
was into some hard. She was a hard rocker. You know, she's got great pictures. And Son of Slam was dark. So I had known Stacy kind of in not bad, no, pretty good in Memphis, and had seen her on the road a few times. But then all of a sudden I ran into her in the neighborhood. She was like, I moved to the neighborhood. So me and Cooper and his ex-wife and my ex-wife, we asked her to come over, and we were all just having a good time. And me and Peter, somehow, I don't know, got it in, like, we were watching the weather at like 5 or 6, and we decided we were going to try to make it snow. Like, we were going to say, what would happen if we start calling and saying it's snowing over here? I don't know whose idea it was.
You were going to change the weather?
And it was like we were all way up in our neighborhood community shed at the time. So we were like, all right, I'm going to call you. I think there was cell phones. So Peter called. I called, said, man, I think it's snowing in East Nashville. Then we called down to the Three Crow, or that was called the Slow Bar, I think. Grimy, man, call the fucking station. Tell them it's snowing. And we call down to the radio. Tell everybody in there, call the radio. And like we were pulling off something major. And then here comes the 11 o'clock news, and we were just, everybody's watching it. And at some point they go, and also we've got it's like 50 degrees outside now. I'm getting reports of snow in East Nashville. And like everybody in our house, it was like we won the Super Bowl. I don't know why. And then the next day, afterwards, Stacy comes over with a phone and shows us a documentary of this. I'm like, what? It's like she'd filmed it all. I didn't even know it. I hadn't even noticed.
Wow. And
the same day, Mercer from MCA calls and says, we need you to make a video. And I also want you to make just a 10-minute video of you like fucking around, you know.
Showing your personality.
Yeah, and they asked me to do that a bunch of times. So I called Stacy and I was like, I think I said, get some colored light bulbs. She tells the story about me. Come over. And we made a video and they loved it. And then we made that. Stacy was like, just drive because she was new. So I was like, it was snowing. She was like, we drive around with your top down.
The convertible.
You show me the neighborhood.
What kind of car was it?
Rocket 88. I got it because that's the first rock song is Rocket 88. And I saw it in the paper, Rocket 88. I think I have it.
And you're saying in the video, I live here because this is where Billy Joe Shaver would have moved to.
Yeah.
This is where Towns Van Zandt Guy Clark would have been.
Yeah. And then later, they did live there.
Yeah.
And then I remember in that video, the guy from Alabama lived across from a hardcore, like, Jesus, it was like there was clearly a drug house, you know.
Yeah.
And then right across was this fucking badass country store house. And I think I said, we're going to get rid of them. I think we're trying to get rid of them both. I think that's what
I'll put a link to it down below in the top comment, and I'll also put a link to Todd's new project. I'm not sure if it'll be 50 links or whatever, but look down there and check all of that out. And
oh yeah,
we're gonna go do something else. But thank you all for hanging.
Yeah, that's right. The records today. I'm gonna listen to it because the two songs I listened to today.
Nice work.
Yeah, man. Thanks for doing that for us.
Thank you for that.
That was really cool.
Thank you for doing that.
Personnel too.